All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been doing at Thornbury High School. I've just remembered the other excuse. I don't think we've done a lot at this stage, so I'm not setting this up as a fantastic model to follow, although I think we've got the foundations right to move ahead fairly rapidly over the next couple of terms. All right. One of the things that was very fortunate for us is that in our review that happened last year, literacy and numeracy was identified as two significant issues that the school needed to do some further work on. So it's been very comfortable for us to be involved in this process, and certainly if this process hadn't been set up, we would have still been looking at literacy and numeracy in some other way probably. So the challenges that came out of the school review I've mentioned there, our VCE results. There's been significant improvements there, but we have to maintain that. We have very low levels of literacy and numeracy at Year 7 from kids coming into us from primary schools. And we wanted to reduce the number of students who are performing below expected standards as well, and increase the number of students obviously operating above. So they are seen as the challenges for the school over the next couple of years. And there's one particular target that we're sort of going to try and achieve, and that is by the year 2011 have 75%, 3/4 of our students who are operating at or above VALs in English and in mathematics. So that's a fairly challenging target, but I think that we have things in place that will help us reach that. Giovanna.
So given the school focus on literacy and numeracy, the AIZ was seen as a vehicle to drive significant change to teaching practices which would be sustainable. And in late 2007, the school identified one teacher, myself, to be a learning leader who has completed the AIZ professional training or professional development training. So the school improvement group is composed of the principal, the learning leader, 4 leading teachers, and they have specific roles there. One's literacy, one's numeracy, one's pathways, and one is for leading schools. Leading schools is for our Year 9 program called Quest. So it's a bit of a different program that we run in Year 9. The school improvement group was also was there to provide direction to the learning leader, to coordinate PD and develop an action plan. The teaching and we also have, might I add, a teaching and learning coach that has been placed at our school for the last 2 terms, I believe. Her role has been to work with 2 teachers in maths and science, and the focus of the coaching has been on incorporating the HRLTPs into science and maths classes. But she's also, I spoke to Teresa and she said her challenge was to ease, and I've quote, to ease the anxiety of I'm not literacy trained, how do I do this with my class? So she worked intensely with one maths and science teacher, I believe, and she identified what that teacher was doing already and then modelled the procedures in her classroom, and she said that was working really well. So myself, well, look, I've been trialling the procedures in my classroom. I've got a Year 7 all-girls English and SOS class and 1 Year 8 English class. So I've been trialling getting knowledge ready, vocabulary, and I'm doing paraphrasing with them, and that's been working really well, especially with the Year 8s who have got their reading is not very good at Year 8 and they're not engaged. So I'm trying to find ways to engage those kids. I have been inviting staff to observe my classes, conducting PD sessions and trialling these procedures in other teachers' classrooms, as well as mentoring, but that role will be more been put in place this term rather than the other term. And I have been assisting teachers across all KLAs to integrate strategies in their unit planning. Our curriculum day, we invited John Munro to present for the day, and he spent the whole day there doing a session on literacy and then moving on to smaller workshops. And these, as you can read yourself, I'm not going to read them all, but comments were very positive from all staff. So we gave staff an evaluation at the end of the day, and they were really positive about John's work.